Get the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Proof. Get the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Proof. Get the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Proof.
How's everybody doing? It's the Proof in the Pudding podcast show, and I go by the name of Sion 919. I'm excited on this Wednesday because this is the first time right here. We got a very important female in the building. She's an activist in the community. She's a model. She's doing some of this, some of that. She's a businesswoman, pageant award winner. So without any further ado, I'm going to let her tell y'all everything that she does. She goes by the name of Shenna J. Welcome to the show. How you feeling tonight?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
It's definitely an honor to have you up here. You're doing big things, right? So for the people that may not know, let's let them know a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, it's your girl, Shenna J, a.k.a. Shenna Jones, a.k.a. new Mrs. Regal, Elegance of North Carolina, Sheena Lassenberg. So a little bit about myself. I'm the founder and owner of Confident Curvy Consulting, which is a consulting firm that helps you pursue your career in any type of way, financial, health, wealth, as well as your everyday life experiences. Life coach, as I call it. I'm also president of community relation with Premium Spades brand, which is owned also by my husband. He's the CEO, Lever Lassenberg. Some other things that is recently in the news or about me. Yes, I'm a model. Yes, I do photography, right. But I kind of shifted that to a little bit to be in the pageant. So that's what's new and fresh this coming October, just recently. It's about to been a month and a half now.
About a month and a half.
And I won this title. And the title was Mrs. Regal Elegance. So of course there's always different level, Miss, Mrs., Junior Miss. But I decided this was going to be in honor of me and my husband. Right. Nobody knew that I got married. Why? Like you said, she's a model. She's in the scene of runway. She's taking pictures. She's doing her thing and she's growing her business. Right. You're absolutely right. But I found love in that as well. And not for someone that just loves me for what they see, but loves me for what I do for my business and supports my business, which is important to me. Okay. So that's just a little bit about myself. If you don't know me, right. You want me to continue on about the pageant?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Yeah, what was that like? What does that title mean to you?
So to me, it means us, we and my husband. It's a representation of the both of us. I've done pageantry before. It was a great experience. I just said, you know what? It's not for me like that. I understand why it has a certain age group because that excitement. But I said, you know what? Let me do it again because I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for us. And I want the world to know that I'm married since I didn't do the script. I'm a trailblazer, right? Let me post everything. Let me send out invitations. Let me do this. I said, the people that has been in my circle daily, when we need friends to pray for us, when we need friends just to hang out with, go out to dinner. This is my immediate circle. So that immediate circle should be a part of this union here.
Right.
And when I want to have a party for, like you and everybody else that need to be in there, okay, I'll do that when that time is. But that wasn't this moment. So the
Right.
moment was intimate. We got married 168 days, from the time we met. Yep, he knew what he wanted. He had to ask 3 times. Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Wow.
But I said yes, and when I won, which totally I didn't expect that. It was just more of, I need everybody to know I am now married. And yes, I'm still Shenna J. I still go by Shenna J. But my married name is Sheena Lassenberg. So when you see that name, it's not a different person. It's still the same person
Right.
tying that brand in together, right?
Right.
So from that particular point when I won, it was just extra icing on the cake. It was that moment of, oh my God, I really won. Of course, I wrote on my calendar that I won, your
Yeah.
affirmations. You write down things that you want to do, right? Things that once you're in office, you should be walking the part, looking the part, acting the part, right? So
Right.
when you get the part, you're not shocked that you got the part, but you did write down some things that you were dreaming or thinking about.
Right.
So I knew this was meant for me. It was my purpose. It was what God had in store for me. It was my season, as they say. So since then, it's been some of that shared publicity. My husband is a very humble man. He's always in the background.
Right.
But I did do an award for him, which is the
Wow.
Distinguished Gentleman Award at the pageant.
Distinguished. Wow.
And I love that, right? Because so many of our Black men specifically just don't get credit where credit is due. They don't get honored for support when they're doing right. It got to be something negative. And I'm trying to change that stigma, like so bad. But with the help of you, your platform, and others, we can do that together if that's what we believe and stand for
Right.
when it comes to standards. So when he got that award, he was excited. I won. It was his birthday. 7 days later, it's our anniversary, 1 year. So it was just a moment to celebrate, a moment to embrace with the family and my friends that were close connected, small group. And, we just been glowing ever since. And I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and that's a blessing right there in itself. Like you said, to see all your dreams coming true, everything coming together. Let me ask you, as a child, did you ever think that you would see yourself here as a child growing up?
For me as a child, I had the perfect life. I don't have a sad story, like I won't go make it out or something like that. No,
Right.
my parents were married. They've been married for 40 something years, and
Wow.
I'm a preacher's kid. Yeah, that's
Right.
right. I'm a preacher's kid. So
Right.
I know God. I know how you supposed to do it. But again, things evolve, things grow, and things change. I knew I was going to be successful. I just thought my successfulness would have been in the corporate ladder of what I was doing
Right.
before I decided to retire. I just didn't know it would be pursuing my own passion, since everybody had what they thought Sheena was going to do. She was
Right.
going to do this. She's going to be that. And I just decided, you know what? Yeah, I did it, but I don't want to do this every day. I
Right.
learned some great skills, met some great people. That's what sets me apart. I enjoy the conversation part, and then how we can help grow and fill in the gaps. So did I ever think I would be doing what I'm doing right here at this moment? No.
Right.
Um, no, just not at all. Yes, the modeling thing, of course, I've always loved pictures. I've modeled when I was younger, from Montgomery Award. If you don't know
Wow.
what Montgomery Award, you may be too young, because I can say that now. I'm a little bit older and wiser, right? Ain't that old? But I
Right.
like my little status that I'm growing in age and I've matured. So with that being said, I enjoy what I do. But my husband changed my life,
Wow.
because he came to me on a business. Hey, it was COVID, things were shut down, so we really couldn't meet. I was coming from a photo shoot. It was my son's birthday. He's a Mother's Day baby, right?
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, I got a little time to myself. but somebody want to have a business meeting. Okay, let's do it. So when he proposed to me about Premium Spades, yeah, of course. I know how to play spades. I know about cars.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out why cars is not moving forward in today. Well, look at there. He had a vision and I had a solution, and you put a vision and a solution together. Oh, we about to make some awareness and impact.
That's
So I
awesome.
would have never have thought that a company or a brand would come to me since somebody had recommended, oh, this is the perfect person for you. I would have
Right.
never have thought that, because normally when someone approaches me for modeling or designing or photography, it's only for that moment. It's
Right.
only for that piece of clothing. I may have other ideas and they're like, no, I'm just going to stick to this.
Right.
Cool. I see so much more, but if you only want to do fashion shows, fine.
Right.
Talk to me when, of course, we're always growing and evolving. When you
Right.
make that growth step, it's there. So when he brought me that proposition, I said, okay, I can see where we can do some things. And then from there, because I enjoy what I do, and passionate about helping other people and educating other
Right.
people, it was a win-win situation. So
Wow.
it kind of went like this, I want to marry you. I want you to be my wife,
Right.
Um, but if you say no, I still want a partnership. See, that's when you got the best of both worlds
Right.
to say, you know what? If you don't want to do this forever and be in the wheel, I at least want to make sure that my business is in great hands, that it's going to continue to grow and evolve. And
Right.
for somebody to already have an eye for that, which for me, I was like, I'm doing my own thing. I just got out of a relationship. I'm really focusing on myself. Like,
Right.
when you're focusing on yourself, you kind of like, I don't want that extra distraction, but it doesn't mean that I don't need that in my life. I can't
Right.
fake that. Everybody needs some type of companionship,
Right.
someone there to talk to and be supportive, and to be, a venting board as well, to say, no, you were totally wrong on that. So go there. So it kind of just went into a perfect situation. And I'm grateful for, guarding my heart and praying for what I want, not praying for what you need right now, but praying for what you want and sticking to it, you know.
Right.
That's been the biggest thing for me.
Wow.
But
And that's powerful right there, because like
yeah,
you just said, you prayed for what you wanted, right? Not the
right,
normal prayer. Pray
right.
for what you want. It's popular right now because is the Sierra prayer going around right now. She
Okay,
prayed. So she got the Russell Wilson. So now a lot of women, they want the prayer.
right.
When it
They need
comes
to
to
pray.
right,
And it doesn't have to be you know, I like everyday people, like what you have going on, Black excellence,
right,
representing your everyday people. Sierra and Russell Wilson is great. Russell Wilson grandfather was the president of Norfolk State University. I'm from
right.
Virginia, okay?
Wow.
Two up, two down, Missy Elliott, yeah,
Right,
right. So yeah, I know of Russell Wilson, and Sierra is great. They are great celebrities, but let's scale it back. Let's scale it back to everyday life. We're not around that
right,
everyday fame and their gifts that they have. They're receiving financial gains from that. But just
right,
take an everyday person, they're not going to get that encouragement just from hearing Sierra's song, not just at that moment,
right,
until they are at their ends um, at that point. So
right,
I just encourage people to just take a moment to reflect upon yourself, things
right,
that you have done well and things that you just need to cut out. You need to cut out because
right,
you just getting older, but the cars are still being played the same way.
right,
The club, that people tell me, well, Sheen, why you don't go to the club? And I said, I don't mind going to the club if it's something going on. Hey, it's an
right,
event. Hey, it's a bachelorette party. Hey, but for me to just go in the club, it doesn't excite me. It doesn't excite me because I did that when I was younger.
right,
And now that I'm older, it's still the same people. It's still the same dude sitting on the side of the wall that don't want to, I don't know, have confidence, right? Into asking the person, I'd rather go to a salsa class. At
right,
least that person know these people came here to dance. I may not know if she can dance or not, but I still got to take the opportunity to communicate with that person. You
right,
can't communicate in a club when you're trying to get to know someone. For me, that's non-verbal communication. And there's verbal communication, non-verbal. Non-verbal is, hey, I see you in the club. I like what I see. And when I get home, you know what it is.
Right.
But when you actually have to communicate, that means I have to sit down and talk and find out what you like, where you grew up, how was your lifestyle. Maybe a little bit difficult to talk about, may bring up some triggers or trauma, as we call it. But if you're not willing to be honest with yourself, I don't understand why some women expect the Black man to take on that responsibility. I'm like, no, think about yourself first before you try to put that responsibility on someone else.
Wow. You just dropped some powerful things on them right there. And that's the thing.
Keeping it 100, right?
You got to. And that's the thing. So it's like, yo, like you said, at first, you're not looking. You just, I'm focusing on me. Doing the business, you got an opportunity. It's like, what made you know, like, yo, this is the one? Sometimes people, they may not know. Like, how do you know when it's the one?
Okay, so like I said, the Bible says, guard your heart with discernment, right? So, no, I don't know the scripture, so don't be asking. I just know a little bit, okay? So, I had to continue to pray about it and pray on me. Is this the step that I want to take? I give a lot, I care a lot, but I also care about the business. So if I can keep everything business and not mix with pleasure, I was going to be good. But when the person keeps asking and still wants to be around and you're not agitated about it, like, you're not agitated about it. You're basically like, this is my friend, which it is. It's my friend and business partner. And we're trying to put our heads together to make sure we have longevity, not a hustle, right? Not we doing this for a moment and then it's gone. It's dead. We want to make sure that we're bringing something back. We thought about that together. And I said, if this man here can take the time to sit down here, think about some things, and we're doing this together, but he stops and say, you know what? I understand that you're working with me and this is our plan. What is it that you want to do? How can I be assistant to you? Not financially, like you could pay this bill, you can do this for the house. No, how can I support your business? What do you have going on? If you don't have anything going on, I think we need to create something for you to be going on. Okay, that was a green flag. See, I ain't all about them red flags. I'm about them green flags because I don't get too many red flags, because when people hear me, see me, they like, oh, I can't come with no BS. I got to come correct. And if I don't correct, she might put me in her place, and I think I'm going to let my ego. So I'm going to come correct. And this is how I'm going to come correct. So when he asked me about that, I had to sit down and think about it. Because again, I'm still in the modeling industry. I'm enjoying the pictures. I'm enjoying the exposure. But he's like, okay, so, the $1 million question, you getting paid? I was like, it's all about exposure and I'm connecting people. And he was like, oh, I get that. There's nothing wrong with that. But are you getting paid? And I said, no, I'm really not. And for you to give me this opportunity and say, how much is it for you to do this? I said, I'm gonna be honest. You were my first paid opportunity that wasn't modeling. It was actually for a brand. So I had to take a look at that. I had to take a step back. And from that moment, I said, yeah, he's in a total different category than anything I ever dated, right? Because you're not just supporting what I do and how I got to go, but you're asking how can you also invest? And that's what I needed to know, not just financially. I mean, getting down pen and paper, writing out, this is the dates for this, and that. Okay. It's a powerful thing. So for me, that was number one. Of course, my girlfriends and them, they didn't know. I think you're moving too fast. Had that going on. Did I call it hating? No. What I said it was, you guys really care about me and care about my feelings and care about what I've been through this. This is my second marriage.
Right.
So I get where you're going. You know, you like people in business because you like business. And I had to take a step back. You know what? You're right. I need to make sure that that's not the only drive, because the moment that it may fizzle out or it may down because, you know, sales, it's up and down, right?
Up and down.
I need to make sure I still have a connection other than business with this individual. Do I really care for this individual? How do I care for this individual? And from there, listening and talking and, you know, learning the 5 love language. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, learn about them 5 love language to know what's important to your partner. You'll be able to communicate better and engage a little bit better of things that, you know, you do a little bit differently. So it's kind of like an introvert meets extrovert, but he's still an introvert, but he's just not as like me, right? I can talk to anybody, work the room. He gonna work the room, but he's only working the room for those people that are important, that he really needs to have that conversation with. So I said, you know what? You're right. That's your personality, and this is my personality, but you don't knock my personality when it comes to jealousy. If there's another guy talking to me, same way with me, another woman talking to you, again, I don't be thinking about the script. You don't think he cheating? You know, like, I'm like, nah, why I got to be like that? Why couldn't it be somebody that he knew, or maybe it was somebody that he dated like 8 years ago, or why couldn't it be just that? And they be like, well, yeah, I said, I can't go down that deep end. And for me, I think that's been a positive connection. I am a rare breed. I hear that from my husband all the time. You know, you rare, you know, no one ever has taken this much time to actually do this for me, even though it was just for a moment. Well, again, I'm in it. I'm going to reciprocate what I'm feeling, but I'm also reciprocating what you're feeling as well, because it's that active listening. Everybody don't have to talk all the time. So that's just been a little bit different. And then our blended families, I think that was another big part, right? Because we have blended family. We have a family, all boys, right? So we have 3 boys. My youngest is 8. My next to youngest middle child is 9, and then we have a 17-year-old on the 20th. So my son, he is on the autism spectrum. So again, lots of patience, a lot of, you know, it's a blended family, you know, all of that come involved. Okay, I can take a deep breath. I am the only female in the family. Yes, pray for me and my husband. We want a little girl. I want a little mini me, but in due timing, because I want to leave my legacy and grow my legacy, and with my family and with my last name. And this is one way that I know my family didn't do for me. They kept towards the script, right? You're gonna go to school, you're gonna graduate, you're not gonna get pregnant before you get married, and then when you get married, you talk about kids, and you know the script, right? Well, I'm just trying to recreate my script differently. I want to have my children with stocks and bonds and land. Like, I want to be able to give that and say, yeah, we got land here, we got land in New York, but because we're married, you now have a extra legacy. You don't just have one from your dad, who I was married with. You got one for him, and then you got an extra one, and then you got an extra one. So for me, it's that growth of family, and you know, raising, you know, our prince to be kings. You know, they're gonna be dating your daughters. I want mine to be respectful. I want mine to make sure that they open the door. Why? Because their dad opens the door for me. It's reciprocated. It's being missed. It's being overlooked. You just start talking to somebody. You don't say, excuse me. Hold up now. Let's take it back. And that's where I'm trying, and me and my husband are trying to rechange the mind, bring that back in. Let's not forget what we already learned. It's just, you know, trained behavior. We need to go back to the basics again.
Go back to the basics. So let's talk about the upbringing, because I heard you say you was a PK.
Right? Yeah, I still a greatest kid. You know,
right? You're always gonna be one.
Always got that title.
Right, you always hold it down. So that's the thing. There's a lot of pressure A lot of pressure, a lot of eyes, a lot of people, looking from the outside in.
Always.
Growing up, how was that, and how did that affect you?
It was tough. They prayed for me. You gotta be careful what you pray for, right?
Right.
And being the only girl in the house with two older brothers, again, blended family. I was conceived by my parents who are married, right? That was a little bit different. The pressure was on. I'm always, you got to do this, you got to do this. And for me, as a child, that's all you know,
right.
you continue to do so. It's when you may go to cousin's house and you see something different and it's that part. Oh, no, you don't do that. So I'll go back to the script. I think the balance now is I didn't have boundaries because I didn't know I needed boundaries.
Right.
I felt like this was the right way. I was doing everything right. But the moment that I wanted to, well, I don't want to do that today, or I want to do it differently. So for me, I think my first real moment was when I said, I want to wear pants to church. Why is it that men get to wear pants to church and women don't? Okay. At my son's age, 9, 10, back then, that's a little bit disrespectful,
Right.
And I said, it's not disrespectful because I just want to understand, because when I go visit some of my other friends' churches, it's not a requirement. They do things different. They worship different. But again, I don't understand it. And from that point, my parents knew I was a little bit different, and they, I said, I don't see where it says that in the Bible, since everybody's been saying what the Bible says, the Bible says, the Bible says. I was like, well, I found something the Bible didn't say. So why are we setting this standard? And then things kind of changed. It kind of evolved, right? We kind of talked about it. But again, that pressure of them wanting to change because they have been scripted was pretty tough. And so I had to break away. And my breakaway was college. I've decided to go to Norfolk State. Once again, my parents are sweethearts from there. I was born in Norfolk State paper. Again, the pressure came on when I came to class. You're in the class with me, but the teacher said, "Hey, did your mama sing with your head on there?" And I look at you and say, "Did you ask him that? I mean, you shouldn't know me like that." Right. So I knew at that point it's time for me to set some healthy boundaries. And I didn't have any healthy boundaries because I just agreed to the title, right? I agreed that's mom and dad. You do whatever. You do whatever. Right. Some people like, it's whatever, right or wrong. I was like, well, no, there has to be a line of integrity. And once that integrity is crossed, or respect. Once the respect is lost, I'm like, I can't, because you don't respect what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm actively listening. I'm trying to think of different ways. We have to break parts. It was tough. I graduated from Meredith College, an all-female college here in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's right. There's no more Peace College. It's now co-ed. It's William Peace. Wow. So we're the only female college here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And from there, I've just learned a little bit more about myself. Again, didn't have those distractions. I don't think men was a distraction, but I had a little bit of time to focus on myself, focus on how women engage with each other of all ethnicities. Of course, yeah, I was a minority, right? It's not that many African Americans there, but for me, it gave me an opportunity to share culture. There's culture differently from a HBCU versus a regular institution. Right. So that was a little bit different, but I embodied it. I embraced it. I was the celebrity. Oh, that's Sheena, that's Sheena, hang with Sheena. Cool. But again, having that fine line balance of my parents and people in the church expecting me to do things. You're going to come back here, you're going to work here, you're going to do that. And I'm just like, well, I'm kind of feeling North Carolina. You get all 4 seasons in one day. I can go to the beach. It's 3 hours away versus 30 minutes. Yeah, I was a little bit closer to Virginia Beach, but that's okay. It's a new area. It's new land, new territory. I've been here. It might be going on 18 years. Yeah, I graduated from 2005. So I enjoy Raleigh, North Carolina. You know, I enjoy it. I'm ready to venture out, but you know, with kids, you got to pray. I got to everything in the voting status. You know, I'm in that. I'm an adult now. Oh my goodness, what to do?
Right.
So
Wow. So that's the thing, right? Let's take it back right there. You said about 2005. So you
mhm.
graduate college, right? What was your plans then? You graduate. What was your
You
plan?
know, when I graduated from college, I said, um, I want to do nothing because I've been doing everything for everybody. But again, you got that expectations or what job you gonna get. The pressure is on.
Right.
So I ended up, you know, being into insurance. That was my first job. Um, but they love me. Like I figured I would have the opportunity to bounce around. I was like, I love temporary work because they love me, but then I would be like, I gotta go. But they like, I'm gonna call you for the next week. Like I enjoyed that thrill of they really wanted me. I really brought something to that organization, to that person, to that company until I got with Nationwide and they were like, no, we're holding on to you.
You're done.
And so I was with them for about 4.5 years until they fired me illegally. Like, you know, it wasn't my fault. Okay.
Right.
And again, you know, just like we talking right now, and then all of a sudden you block me. You I'm like,
What
what
happened?
the
Right.
fuck?
What happened? We thought it was good. What happened?
Come to find out, they were really cracking down for people not working, but that had nothing to do with me. So out of all my performance reviews, excellent. I've created like this walk nationwide where people felt like when they donated money for fundraising, it was only for that fundraising. So if you were passionate about autism, you always push autism, but maybe that person was passionate about, you know, diabetes.
Right.
So I created like a walk nationwide where guess what? You can walk and you can donate money to whatever organization. I'll make sure that $5, that $25, that $100 get to each of those organizations.
Right.
But they had put me in a sting of electronic policy
Oh
usage
wow.
where another lady had sent me an email about Mary Kay. And
Right.
I responded back and said, hey, I'll definitely get to you on your lunch break. I'll meet you at lunchtime at the cart. Right. And of
Wow.
course, again, this was like 3.5 years, never came up in any of my performance review after 2 years. So I felt like there's a problem here. My boss is crying. The person from Ohio is firing me on the phone. I said, this ain't right.
Right.
Now, I'm not the average young girl that don't know her rights. But I did learn that day that North Carolina was an at will state, right?
Right.
It can fire you for anything. It fire you for anything as long as you ain't got no proof that it's discrimination bias, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
That's my HR hat. I know that, learned that from Meredith. So I smiled, you know, I smiled. I was tickled. So when I called my ex-husband at the time, I said, he on his fishing shirt, right?
Right.
I said, I just got fired. He said, stop. Why are you
Right.
look today?
Why
Not
you
a day.
joking like that? Right. Right.
And I said, no, I'm being serious. I said, I'm being serious. I said, but it doesn't feel right. I got people crying. I got people calling me like, what's going on? Now I understand that Becky from the fifth floor, such and such from over there, they won't doing their job. I totally get it. But
Right.
to put me in it after, yes, I did have them pay for my master's degree and I got my
Wow.
master's degree from there. Yes, I did invest in my 401k. So I was maxing out. Yeah, yeah. Why? You don't get into pension jobs and don't invest in the pension. Like,
Right.
no, no, no. So I was a little bit educated as an African American, as a young Black female African American that does her job, and yet the company loves me so much. So they're like, well, we got this going on. Do you mind being a travel person? Sure, absolutely. Y'all paying for that? Yeah. So that's when I learned a little bit more about the law of North Carolina. And push come to shove, you know, they let me go. Went to the EEOC. Like I said, I felt discriminatory. Like I've been perfect. I just want to know what did I do wrong, so this won't happen again.
Right.
Yes, I already had another job. I was working with Time Warner Cable, which is now Spectrum, part-time. So of course, again, business. I'm still selling cable internet and home phone on my full-time job because people
Right.
like, yo, Shenna, can you hook me up? I'll give you a call this afternoon.
Right.
So um I ended up winning. Okay. Now the
Wow.
attorneys from North Carolina, they ended up calling and said, hey, we want to represent you. So I said, okay, cool. But of course, my friends who got laid off or fired, they
Right.
were trying to get me in for their civil suit. And I said, well, look, I don't know what you got fired for.
Right.
Well, they saying about email and I was coming back late from work. Well, I ain't got that. I ain't got that. I can't help you. I'm so sorry. I can't help you. And plus, again, everybody wants to be part of the team until you start asking questions. And then it's the questions that they really don't want to ask.
Right.
That's when I know, okay, I got to go left. So they had to back pay me. Yes, that check
Wow.
was good. You know what I'm saying? That was like $6,000. I did
Right.
was working. I ended up quitting the job. I told her that she's like, why you gonna quit? I said, I want to go back to school. That's what I said.
Wow.
I want to go back to school. So once they dropped that $6,000, EOC said they didn't come, they didn't show up. So in my heart, in my prayers, I knew that was wrong.
Right.
But it wasn't about the money for me. It was the principle. It was the brand that you had messed up for me. Like I felt like I really connected and did some great things for great people. I even helped them get promoted.
Right.
So for you to say this and let me go, I enjoyed the job. So that's what hurt me most. It wasn't about the money. And still this day, we still speak, my old manager or whatever. I don't talk about it. I don't
Right. Right.
talk about it because I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. I just knew if I won, ain't nothing to talk about.
And nothing to talk about.
Ain't nothing
Right.
to talk about.
And
So,
nothing to talk about. And that's
but
the
that
thing.
ain't my first time in the law. I actually sued my ex-boyfriend at the age of 21. So
Wow.
it's something that I was always passionate about. I just
Right.
said, you know what, I just can't commit like 20 something years studying in the book and only dating lawyers and judges. Like, nah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work.
Wow. And that's the thing. And you said a powerful thing is like, yeah, when you have the knowledge, a lot of times people don't have the knowledge. So they're just
Right.
winging it. That
Right.
the education is key right there. So it's like you said, I'm in the books and taking advantage of the pension. Certain
Right.
things like that. People don't know that. So it's like, okay. So now you start the new career, right? You get the
Started a new
6,000,
career.
you get the 6,000. You got it. It's like a step up now. So it's
Yeah.
like, all right. So what
Yeah.
happened next? What happened next?
So from there, again, I was working part-time at Time Warner Cable, as a outbound sales rep.
Okay.
From that particular point, um, I ended up moving up. Told my manager, I said, look, some things happened at the first job and I'm no longer there. I can give a little bit more time. I'm trying to move up in this company. It's only 6 months that you need to stay in your position
Right.
to move up. So you know me, it's mathematical.
Right.
Let's bust these numbers out, make it look pretty because that's what they want to see. That's what corporate want to see on
They want
paper.
to see
That's
that.
it's not it's you can't lie about numbers because
Right.
you're producing. So from there, it went further. But my furtherness went from the sales agent to a lead to helping in training and helping
Wow.
other agents on the floor that wasn't successful. But when it was time to apply for now the supervisor position, I had to apply 3 times. They denied me 3 times. So of course, again, I can't settle with no. No is
Right.
ain't no with me. You got
Right.
to give me factual. So I said, look, um, I have my master's, I have my undergrad, and I know there's half of these people that don't have it. Like you can get this job without it. So I know I'm overqualified.
Right.
But what is it? And it was like, the other supervisors are intimidated. And I said, so I don't understand how their feelings can make you make a judgmental decision that affects your pockets. If they are so intimidated, that means when I get the job, they should be scared. They should be ready to work.
Right.
See, that means you're not working. And I'm not saying that you're an effective manager. I'm not saying that at all because I understand what you're saying. I'm telling you as a person, a protocol that is a subordinate. I'm letting you know I can do better than them. And I'm showing you that I can do better because of the success of these agents that are still under them. And they're still not fostering that. So they had to take that information back. And then they're like, you know what? She's right. She's right that she's been doing the job. The only person, I mean, I done came from the phones, then done it just makes logic sense. I don't need the title to be able to do the work. I'm already doing the work. People just asking me, are you a supervisor? You a supervisor. It's already there. So just go ahead and give the coins with the title. And then we still ain't even got to talk about the title because I'm still going to be thirsty enough to do the passionate job that I wanted to do. So fast forward, got the job, I got married, I went to Hawaii, and then bam, I had my son, right? I was a little bit nervous about that. I'm nervous about that because we all know in corporate, when you get pregnant, things a little bit change. Like nobody knew that I was married. My desk is just what you see. I didn't want nobody to know anything extra to make any judgmental to say, oh, she got a kid or, she got somebody else at home. She may need to get home. They already made that judgment just off what they know about you. So I eventually had to tell my manager, and I did. And I worked until the last day that I was, that I could, and they supported me. They were always there. They allowed me, I was ready to get back to work. Again, my son is a blessing. But again, I'm not getting pregnant at 35. Wow. I got things that I want to do and accomplish and achieve. And I'm just thriving in my career here at Time Warner Cable, right? But God had other things in store. Came back to the job, got an earlier shift, was able to balance that. And then we get the news that, hey, we're shutting down this department. Wow. So I had to make some decisions. And I pushed all my agents out that needed to be pushed out. I ended up moving to a more salary position. Sales, we get a salary, but we get that extra money.
The commissions and stuff like that. Bonuses and commissions. Right.
There you go. Right. So I knew that whatever I needed to do, I need to suffice what I enjoy because that's luxury. It's all about numbers and figures. And I went into just dealing with the home phone. And from that particular point, October 17th, October 31st, 2017, I retired from Time Warner Cable. I had decided enough was enough. We were changing into Charter. That's what Charter Spectrum, as many people know it. The 10 years that I was there, it was great. The company was changing. I started to have health issues as in you need spinal surgery at age 33. So for me, that was a lot to take in. People thought, just like they think right now, Shenna still works at Time Warner Cable. I do not. I have been retired from them since 2017. And from there, I ended up having a spine infusion done, and my health took a different route. It was a different toll for me to, now that I retired, and now I have to cope with what's going on. I just had spinal surgery. I have just been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And on top of that, my family has a history of being a diabetic. So I got all three of those combinations going at one time. I had to make some changes. I had to make, what am I going to do for work? What am I going to do now do I want to start a business? What do I want to do? At the end of the day, I knew God was telling me, you need to slow down. Whatever you're doing, whatever you think you're going to do, you need to slow down. I took that moment to slow down and to rethink and regroup and get my health and life together because, hey, I got a 5-year-old here. I got a 3-year-old now, and this ain't looking good. I don't want to be leaving a responsibility that I cherish and enjoy doing to someone else. However, I did have to have that help, especially with my rheumatoid arthritis, which is a chronic illness that affects the immune system. Something that nobody in my family ever had, something that I was still trying to figure out. What is it? Is it like arthritis? Because my parents and aunts talking about if it rains, yeah, I got arthritis. Okay, y'all got this self-diagnosis. I'm really talking about something serious here.
Right.
So they didn't know, but from what Duke said, it's environmental. It is stress. It is you holding on to things that you're saying that you're okay, but you're really not okay, but you're trying to be strong. So I had to retrain myself. I had to go seek therapy. That's right. It's okay for African Americans, whatever your ethnicity is, to get help. My psychiatrist's help is not all psychiatry. It is more of stress relievers for the body. I internalize things. So in order for me to not internalize things, I have to be able to talk about it. It was great talking about it with that pain therapist. That's what they call them, pain therapists. But I find it more exuberating when I'm able to talk on platforms like this, when I'm able to express what I'm going through, or if I need to go live. It doesn't have to be only in a picture of what I was doing before. I was expressing how I felt before. Sure, the picture is great, but you didn't really know what I was going through in that picture. But it was a great picture though. And it gets lots of raves and lots of likes. And it's in a magazine. But again, those were just moments in my life that I was expressing myself because I didn't have, that was my safe way. I'm just going to say my safe coping way for me expressing without being exploited, without being taken advantage of. And from there, I just find now talking about it, writing it out. I like it, write it out and burn it and forget about it. And meditation has helped. So as a plus size, curvy model, it's still at heart, I was at 225, 230. Yeah, I'm at 174. I've lost 50 pounds on my own. Why? Through discipline, commitment. And, I got a partner, my husband, like he's there as well. People ask me, well, what's your secret? What are you doing? My secret is, you really want to know? It's sharing a plate. I share a plate with my husband. We share it. It's not just an intimate moment. For me, it's an intimate moment because I get to share a plate with my husband. Again, intimacy does not have to always be physical. It can be other ways to be intimate. And so when we're sharing that plate, that means we are also sharing those calories. It didn't just go to one person. And we are consistently stretching or taking a walk. No, we did not go out and bust it out in the gym for 2 hours. No. Why? First of all, my bones don't work too well to gravity, especially in the cold. Now that the pool is done, no, we got to go in baby steps. So meditation, yoga, staying disciplined to our routine, which I know it can be tough. Trust me, I know I got boys that be forgetting. Oh, I forgot my mask, mom. Okay. So you still got to take some me time. And that me time is whether you're in the bathroom, and me time is whether you wake up first and you got your 5 minutes to just take deep breaths in and out. That's it. It's that mindset that we move forward to say, you know what? It wasn't a great day today, but tomorrow's going to be a better day. But let's meditate. So our family meditates. They enjoy my new healthy look. But again, my weight loss wasn't just for me. My weight loss was for preparing for my daughter. Her name's going to be Lily Lassenberg. That's what my preparation is for. Do I miss, you're not curvy no more. Okay. I do. It saddens me that now I've become, you just discriminatory towards me and you didn't even know it. You didn't know it. So I understand when, some of the slimmer models don't feel like they're in this group. But I also have to say to some of my plus size ladies, your health is not together. So guess what? Everybody wants to be nice and curvy. That's all I'm gonna say. Nice and curvy, right? But it doesn't mean you're in the best health condition. Doesn't mean that if I say, hey, I need you to dress for 20 designers back to back to back, doesn't mean that you're not going to be out of breath. Doesn't mean that you can hold that pose.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you can't wear a higher heel that you look a little better in that higher heel versus that low heel. There's always ways that not only your looks, but your health and wellness goes about. So you don't always have to stay in that category. And that's how I share with my ladies. I'm diverse. That means if I wanted to gain some more weight and be back in the curvy world, I can do that. But if I also want to change my perception and get into different networks that I want to get into, and maybe because they said we look like this, people who look together, they kind of stick together. Well, guess what? It doesn't mean I don't have an opportunity, but guess what? I have an opportunity now because I kind of look like them. And because they really don't know, like I look like them, but I'm a totally different shade. I'm now a minority for what they need to do and what they need to produce. You know what I'm saying? I like to break barriers in that way. That's why I went to Meredith. Yeah, I understand it was only 2%, but right now we're at 8%. I'm excited. From the time that I graduated from 2 to 8, we're doing good. We're getting different people in here. We're getting people of color in to learn about what good services and opportunities that they have as well, as long as you apply yourself. Right?
You have to apply yourself. And that's the thing. That's the thing right there. So it's like I want to step back a little bit, right? Because you said you had went from one job to the other, everything going good, right?
Right.
A lot of times it's like, we praying.
Right.
Things are coming together, right? It's like, God is working, God is moving. And it's like, it comes a time where it's like you said, out of nowhere. Lose the job. Did nothing wrong. It reminds me of Joe.
Right.
Didn't do anything wrong. Lose the job. Now you got health issues. Come out of nowhere. Right?
I knew.
A lot of times people get upset. They start getting angry. Why me?
Yeah. Yeah. And other things start to happen. Again, during that time frame, I am going through a separation. I'm going through a divorce. Okay, that also plays a part as well, according to the pain therapist. Me holding on to things and still trying to work through them. I was doing everything on my own. The other person, my ex-husband, he was hurt. Now, for me, again, some of us can deal with situations and move forward. For me, that's what I thought. Okay, fine. I already said I ain't want to be with you anyway. Just go and sign these papers. Like, let's go on, get this over with. But for a man, it takes a little while long. I can't expect the same return that I'm like, I'm on the go. It's whatever. That other person is not like that. So it took another 4 years for those papers to be signed, right? Patience, right? But also forgiveness. I had to work on that part. And not rush the process, because it was a process to get married. There's a process to get a divorce. And now that I have health issues, I still need this person. This person is not really feeling me. He think I'm playing because, I got health issues, but it was the moment that I was in the hospital. I had to have emergency surgery. And I was in there for about a week. It was a week. And then 6 months later, I was in there again for another 18 to 20 days. My life flashed before me. And if most people don't know, I caught MRSA. MRSA is another whole different level of infection. Everybody's suiting up like outbreak, like COVID. Okay, that's that. You see your face one day, all of a sudden you like, well, what's going on? Somebody need to talk to me because I ain't trying to live like this. But in the midst of that time of me, the day that I got out of the hospital the first time, my baby brother passed. And after that had happened, 6 months later, the guy that I had been dating, the guy that I had been with, he passed away. So for me, it was a step back. Again, God doesn't always have to put it on you. It can come around your family on things that you would least expect it. I mean, I would never thought I would lose my baby brother. It's my baby brother. He just getting out of jail. He was, as I call him, he was the rebel. But we always had a strong connection. I always wanted him to get out of North Carolina. I mean, get out of Virginia to come to North Carolina, but he ended up going down to South Carolina, getting married. I was happy for him as long as, I'm our brother's keeper. That's all that I wanted him to know. But when that sad day came, kind of broke up the family a little bit, kind of, a little bit reserved, not really talking about it again, trauma all over again. But I had to really, really, really humble myself through this process. And yes, I did ask God, like, why? Why? Like, I mean, everything's going great. Like, why did I have to have rheumatoid arthritis that nobody knows anything about, that you don't even have doctors here to know about it? Like, what's up with that? So then you're taking people that have been a part of my life and that started to help me go through this journey, you're taking them away. I wasn't done learning yet. I'm not mad. I'm just sad, but I'm mad that I ain't get finished learning because the guy that I was dating was older. I was learning different things, some good things, as I say, some street things, because I'm not always street smart, but he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about Durham, taught me a lot, things that I normally wouldn't have learned about anywhere else, not in the textbook. That's just everyday life. And sometimes you need other people to come into your life to tell you about that. But that reminded me some people are only there for a reason, season, or for a lifetime. And you have to cherish those moments. And from there, I decided to do just that. I said, you know what? I'm going to do right. I'm going to write down my goals. I'm not going to be sad. But what I am going to do is I'm going to write out my feelings so they would at least know this is what I'm feeling right now. And I'm going to continue to move forward because that's something that they will want me to do. They would want me to continue to fight. They would not want me to be sad. But it did come a time where you're having that conversation with yourself that now my husband is in the picture. You're holding on to someone that is no longer here, but they cherished you. Right. You're asking because you had those memories together. You had, maybe a possibility. I'm like, boy, stop playing. I ain't even ready for that life. I'm enjoying what we have. Companionship. Yes, ladies, and men, there are certain things that you can say that you want a companion. That's where I was in my life. I didn't want another husband. I said I wanted a companion. And that was taken away. So I knew that, okay, well, again, that wasn't the plan for me, even though that's what I thought. There's other things that are available, as well as who's going to still be in your corner and support you during this time. Moving forward, got my health together, saw the doctor more like I saw like a job, went through different treatments. We finally got it right. Being a guinea pig, but also still being the advocate. No, I heard that it does this, and that. This is a cancer drug. Again, it's the respect of you advocating for yourself and knowing what you're taking and how it would affect, as well as saying, hey, look, it's always something extra. You go in for a cut and you like, yeah, they're going to stitch it up. But then you find out, oh, you got some bacteria in there. Well, dang, why you got to be all that?
Right.
So they really helped me through the process. And what I'm saying is my health is average. It's great. Yes, I'm still in hiding from COVID. When I do interact with people, it is, let me hand sanitize, let me bump you, let me keep my mask on. I am, conscientious of when I go out. It is strategic. But I would say right now, I'm moving in the right direction of where I need to be with my health and pursuing to, grow my family. So I want to be as healthy as possible. And prayerfully, with me being pregnant, it will cure or put in remission this rheumatoid arthritis. But again, that small percentage may say, maybe not. But I'm hoping on that other percentage. That's what my hope and dream is, just for me to be a normal again, where I don't have to worry about anything extra. I don't want to have to worry about my eyes being sore because the RA's in my eyes, uveitis, learning all these things about the body. to make sure that I'm not handling in there too much before. Are you good? Okay. Yeah. My son did. Talking about my toe itches.
Okay.
He ready to be famous anyway.
All right.
Then he gonna say hello. You come say hello. Come say hello. Mm-mm. Come say hello real quick.
How you
Say
doing?
hello.
You've been live 1 hour?
Yes.
He said, "That's
All right,
it."
get on over there.
He said, "That's it." He
That's
said, "That's
that's
enough.
my that's my mini bee.
He said, "That's enough is enough."
Okay. That's my mini me. That's my mini me in a male's version. So
That's a
you
blessing
know.
right there. That's a blessing right there. And let's talk about the you got another company, right, where you do the in the community. It's like
Yes.
you're helping. And let's talk about that real quick. And I'm gonna try and get you up out of here. I don't want him to come back and regulate on me.
No. Look, he enjoying this. Oh, I ain't got to go to bed yet.
Wow.
Yeah. So Confident Curvy and Premium Spades, we partnered together in the community. So right now we're really working with the women's shelter in Raleigh. Once a week, I go. So let me back up. Once a week, I do go out there and donate food. They are staying and living outside at this moment from 3:30 in the afternoon until 8:30 in the morning. So when it's raining, when it's cold, when it's whatever, they're out there. My heart crushes, right?
Right.
Affordable housing is necessary.
Right.
That's something that I'm looking forward into investing and doing. It's necessary. There is some places, but of course, I don't have $500,000. That's what Raleigh wants, $500,000. Go a little bit further, they might want a little bit less. But how do I get those people from where we are in Raleigh there?
Sure.
That's not going to work. I got still trying to work with different people to be strategic and figure this part out. But the least that we can do as a community is to keep them warm, is to make sure that they're fed. I always pray that they're protected, but they tell me about the stories. I just couldn't imagine sleeping outside. I said that I wanted to do something like that, but I know my health conditions wouldn't allow it. But I'm willing to give it a try if my community would try it with me as well. So I would feel supported. So I would feel, do I have people around me to understand what they're going through? Because I know I would want that person to do that. So once a week, we go around maybe like 8 o'clock, right? Normally when they're there, normally when you would be hungry or trying to have dinner again, to go give them a hot meal. That hot meal may be anything from breakfast or sandwiches, or like I said again, anything that I have in the refrigerator that I'm no longer eating anymore, or I just cooked a whole pan of spaghetti, lasagna, or making sandwiches. Again, I always think about, if I was homeless, I'm always on the go. So fork and spoon, not all the time, but something that I can have with crackers, chips, sodas, hot chocolate, anything that I can give them for hydration purposes and keeping them warm. Blankets, socks, shoes. I've been asking the community for anything that you're cleaning out. It's the end of the year. Your kids' coats, gloves, scarves, shoes, women's clothing as well that keep you warm. Nothing fancy. Yes, I have plenty of clothes, but I can't give them that. I can't give them that because it's not appropriate. It seems like they're it's just not appropriate for that type of work. But they need things that can keep them warm while they're outside. I'm looking at ways for like tents, but of course they still have to carry this stuff. They have to move this stuff in the morning. Okay, what about luggage sets? So just thinking about just different areas that we can help these particular women, as well as men that I see, downtown in Mer Square, that I see on 70 and Miami, they're always there. So they need an extra handout. They need, they're on this side of town. You can't say, hey, can you get to the healing place that's all the way on the other side of Capitol? Again, they can't get there. So how can we be of a blessing? This is one way that we can do it, by just looking into your closet and pulling out things that you're just not using. You just don't need. I need all types of shoes. I need all types of boots and footies. I'm willing to go pick it up. December 4th in Nightdale, I partner with Dream Coat Ministries. We're doing a coat drive. So any gently used or new gloves, hats, scarf, coats, socks, we need them. We'll be donating them at the parade. Anybody that needs a coat, from kids to adults. Me and my queens and other people in the community has partnered up. They're coming out there to volunteer. I have it in different shifts, so I understand that, it's a Saturday. The parade starts at 2, but we'll be starting at 8 o'clock. I just need people to come hang up the coats and put them in sizes. So, it can be a smooth transition for 2 or 3 hours. If you can only give me an hour, great. But I guarantee you might want to give me an extra 30 minutes once you start to see the people in the communities to warm their hearts. And then, of course, with Premium Spades, we actually have an event on November 27th and December 4th. It's a spade social. And basically, that spade social is to get people connected in the community, right? Respect, communication, partnership, and strategic thinking, all while having fun. Again, non-communication versus verbal communication, depending on what card you throw out, right? Your partner may or may not react. But this, again, allows you to engage with a person that you may not have known. It's a partner. Yes, we'll get to the poker and all that other great stuff. We want to see how people can connect together and talk. We will be having some socials with singles. Why? It's called like a little bit of speed dating, but we're still having a little bit of game too, right? You may not know the game, but you can learn the game. Same way with sports. Steelers versus, what's your team?
I'm a Giants fan.
Okay. All right. But but it's that particular that's just that particular partnership that we have going on. And then, just doing things together in the community of showing how to eat healthy. Something simple, you don't have to go out and buy these organic things. Take the food that you're eating right now, and we're just gonna cut out some things. Maybe it's not a sandwich, it's gonna be a lettuce wrap. Just taking what you already know and changing some of the thought processes on how we do things.
Make it more healthy. So if people were interested for the December 4th, right? That's the day that y'all gonna give them out. What if they have stuff they want to donate? What would be the best way?
If you have things that you want to donate, you can contact me. I will come and pick it up. You can contact me through Facebook, Shenna Jones, Instagram _SheJ, Confident Curvy Consulting. You can find that on Gmail and Facebook, LinkedIn, Sheena Lassenberg. Anyway, even if you want to hit Silicone 919, you let them know, hey, I have some things that I want to donate. Hit him up as well. I will come to where he is to pick it up. Whatever you have, your donations is greatly appreciated, because whatever we have left over, we'll be donating to the women's shelter, and then some for the men's shelter as well, just to keep them warm. Or, hey, there's a couple of homeless people, at this corner. Great. They look like they need a coat. Let's give them a coat to keep them warm, because it's going to be some cold, chilly nights.
This is like you said, North Carolina changed up on you. It's like a couple weeks ago, it was real chilly. It's warm. That ain't that bad tonight, but like you said, it goes up and down, and that's definitely needed, and it's very important. So let me ask, right? Because you're giving back to the community, you have a heart for people, right? Outreach. Does that have any ties back to your upbringing with the ministry?
It does. I sang in the choir, but I also sold candy. I was the candy girl. And my parents served as well. But I noticed a little bit different for me is I didn't always had to use that institution. I'm just going to call it that particular institution to be able to serve. Church is great, but there's other ways to serve with other businesses and partnerships and nonprofit, or just in general. What are you passionate about? Hey, I love dogs. I have a rescue. I'm going to go and volunteer sometimes, or, hey, advocate to say you need to get a rescue dog versus a breeded dog. Whatever your passion is, I think you should pursue it and learn a little bit more about it to make sure that you are doing the best that you can do to make sure that you're filling the gaps. And that's what I'm passionate about, not just only on a religious institution
As a
basis,
whole.
on a real everyday life basis, because that's what you need at this moment.
No, I definitely understand that. And I definitely agree right there. It's like it's bigger than, it's bigger. It's like real issues, people going through real things. It's like
Right,
sometimes we forget. We would get so
right,
comfortable in our day-to-day life that it's like we may have enough, but it's somebody else that may not have the bare minimum.
right.
So like
And
that's
money
definitely
isn't everything.
right.
Like I tell people, like, I just go out there and talk to them. Like, I just go out there and
Right.
talk to them. They don't have anybody to talk to.
Right.
I get it. They don't look like, they don't look like they should be out there. You're absolutely right, but they are. Somebody didn't manage something, or something fell through the cracks here, or somebody was in an abusive relationship there. You don't know their story until you actually open up your heart and take a moment just to listen. And that's where I love about me and my 100% being authentic is I don't judge anybody,
Right.
because I don't want anybody to judge me. But I
Right.
already know that you are. But your judge is more of a competition, and there's no competition here. I'm only competing with myself. I'm only seeing how I wrote this on paper,
Wow.
but now how I'm gonna execute, because people got great ideas. Like they
Execute.
got the bomb diggity idea. But when I say, okay, well, how we gonna go ahead and start it out? Well, I ain't got the money right now. Well, hold up, you don't need the money if I'm asking you what we plan to do right now, because all we gotta do is connect with certain people, and those people that are already specialized in that particular area, they can help us, and they can also in return get help as well, because they're getting exposure, or they're using their skills, or hey, it may be $100, that's all you got, but they at least know that you're coming from a genuine place. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about authentic people who are willing to put in the work, but yet also willing to grow, develop, and evolve. Like that's what we should be doing all together. There shouldn't be a competition. But again, I don't want you extra busy. I don't want you being the garbage custodial. Then you also gonna do cakes, and then you gonna also do this. Like I'm just asking you to be passionate about your one thing, because when I'm trying to link you up with somebody else that
Right.
needs this thing, they don't need to know the other 50 things. I get it. You the jack of all trades, but
Right.
you can't be the jack of all trades, because this other person is really bomb diggity with the cakes, and they got flavor and flair. But you saying you do cakes, and then you also do finances, and I just need you to focus on one, master one, and
Master
then
one.
find something else that you can partner with, that you might not even know that you partner with, but you talk to this person every day, but you still don't get the connection until
Right.
it clicks. Like, oh, I forgot you do that too. Right. But you was trying to do it, and I didn't understand why you was trying to do it, because I do it already.
Right.
So I don't have to work harder. I just work smarter for those people that want to work. And right now, that is the time frame of what's happening right now. There's
Right.
people that say they want to work, but they really don't want to work. So I just want to know, what do you want? If you know what you want, great. But that seems to be the problem. You don't know what you want. You just know
Right.
what you don't want to do. And that's cool too. But I need to know what you want, so I can be able to serve you or help you or connect you to the right people
Right.
if need be. Because I can't do everything. And I'll tell you that right now. I can't do everything, and I won't do everything. Why? Because my peace of mind and helping others that need the business, that your startup business, their startup business, you'll be their second client and they'll be
Right.
their third client. I love those connectivities. I love that interaction. I love that energy.
Right.
Why? Because that's what this world needs. It
That's what
needs to take its time and focus on the everyday Black excellence people, or minorities, or whatever you're doing great in the community. I want to connect with you on. There's something that we can help some way or another, or partner some way or another. And how do we do that? We do that by talking and communicating with each other.
And that's very real right there. My cousin in the comments, he came in late. She do take clothes.
Yes,
I'm gonna put the
yes,
social links
male
up there.
and female clothes,
Male and
especially males, because I try to size up some of the men when I'm, at the stop sign, and sometimes the clothes that the guy that I was dating, he had left. So I mean, I could get in the Goodwill, but why not? Why I could give them to someone that fits his size, but sometimes the clothes look a little bit big, so I don't give it. If it's a jacket, great, but there at least it's a nice collared shirt and a jacket and some khaki pants. If there's some work clothes, great, but if there's some boots, that's even better.
Right.
I'll take it. Whatever is going to help them to stay warm or while they're standing on that corner, to figure out how we can get you the help that you need. So you don't have to keep going through this cycle. I don't like you being out here. So how can I help you? And that can go, that's a choice that they have to make.
Right.
I don't want any help. This is what I like to do. This is all that I want to do. Great. We'll still support you. We'll still uplift you, and we'll still keep you in our prayers. I just want to let them know you don't always have to be the one that takes. You can stand up for yourself too. I got, during rescue mission, they have great programs for men. They got great stay-in programs for women. They got, women with kids. There's so many people I can connect you to, but the question is, are you willing to have that discipline and commit for it?
Right. And that's the thing. That's the powerful thing you just said right there. And like you said, it's needed. And it's like it's so many people out here that don't have the empathy or the compassion.
Right.
It's like a lot of times it's like I remember when I used to do street ministry. We will do outreach, or we'll go to the neighborhoods and stuff like that. And it's like you said, listening to people's stories, or even on this platform. Sometimes you're talking to people and it's like, wow, I never know you went through that. Or you never, just from the outside looking in, you never know what a person is going through, what they've been through, or like you said, how they got in that situation. It could have been, everybody didn't choose to be there. They could have got laid off. They could have went through a bad divorce. I put all my money in this and my pension, and the company, they burnt me.
Right.
All types of situations. So it's like a lot of times people look down and say, well, they have a choice or ... But you don't know their story till you out there actually in the trenches talking to these people. And it's like, they're just like us. They want the same things we want. They want security. They want safety. They want better for their families and stuff like that. So it's like, it's definitely needed in our community, because even like you were saying earlier with mental health and things like that, abuse, certain things like that, is like, we're taught to just cope, just deal with it.
Right. Put it off.
Right. And it's like, and people are hurting. So it's like, it's good to see other people with a light in the world that has that heart for other people.
And it's genuine. It's genuine. I think, even when talking to some of the organizations and, maybe I want to gift them an outfit, like you do a makeover, right? You get to go in the store and do all that. Like, maybe they never been in a vehicle and had somebody to talk with them. But I encourage the organization, do not place a fear that something's going to go wrong, especially when you're doing great things in the community. I understand that there can be some conflict or, anything can happen. Anything can happen when I roll out my window and give these clothes out. But again, that's not my intent. That person who's receiving it is not the intent to do harm. If I had that problem, I wouldn't get in my car at 10, 11 o'clock and drive downtown Raleigh from Apex to do this. I don't have that fear because I don't see them as a threat, and you shouldn't either if you're helping them. That's all, regardless of what's going on. I call me, naive, but I don't look at people that way. I pray that no one takes advantage of me, but some people see things a little bit different than I do, and I do thank them for being in my circle, for helping me see that. But I don't prejudge. Thanks for putting that in the circle, but watch me not even hear what you just said, and it turns completely different, and it does, or maybe it doesn't, because the person ended up not talking to me. Either way, I don't want to put any type of judgmental character down there when I'm just here and willing to help and asking what you need. So yeah.
Definitely understand that. Do you have a like a flyer or something for the business?
I do. I have one on my Facebook page,
Okay.
and I have one on my Confident Curvy. I have to send you
Okay.
some flyers, and I have one for the donation drive for December 4th. So
Okay.
we still need volunteers.
Right.
So if you want to volunteer, because my thing is, hey, I mean, going from this event then to the Spades Social, and then hopefully I can get over to support my friend for their fashion show. Either way, I'll be waving when y'all get outside.
Right.
Either way, it's gonna be a fun-filled family day. Again, everything is family oriented. Everything is about building our new generations and making sure that they stay connected. It don't always have to be adult content, but my kids will be out there giving out gloves, scarves, and hats, and cheering on different people that come to the table and just giving them that smile and encouragement. So hopefully you can join us.
And that's the thing right there. Before, I hate to have you repeat it again, but the guy that's in the comment, that's my cousin.
Oh,
They actually have a platform like this. It's called the
Okay.
Social Canvas. So it's like the Social Canvas. So it's like, yo, with the Social Spades Social that's coming up, can you repeat that right quick while he's in here in case you don't see the playback?
Yes. So Premium Spades. So you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We are having a Spades Social on November 27th from 2 to 5. And then we'll also have one on December 4th. I want to say from 2 to 7 or 4 to 7. I haven't posted that flyer yet, but we've created it. We just wanted to make sure that we have everything looking good before we post that one. But those will be those 2 days. It'll be at Chavis Park in Raleigh. So everybody knows that. Hey, they got, if you ain't been out there, hey, they didn't change it up. Okay. So come on out there. We'll be at the Carousel House. We'll have some foods, we'll have some drinks, we'll have some great prizes. And of course, it's $25. And for couples and partners, it's $40. And we look forward to seeing you guys out there.
All right. Yeah, and that's the thing right there. When you get the flyer, I'll definitely be posting it on my wall as well. And again, he says salute. He says salute to you. Thank you again for what you're doing. Yes, definitely, yo. So before we wrap it up, is there anything that we might have missed that we might need to touch on right quick, or any updates, anything that we might have skipped so far?
Other than starting off the new year, look forward for us doing something with the prince and princesses for Black History Month. I have some creative things going on for our, again, Black excellence, our local everyday people of who our future generations should be like, as well as a podcast hoster, hey, be like you, right? So of course, I'm going to still have some history in there, but again, they see you every day. They didn't get to see Martin Luther King every day. They didn't get to see all these other people. I'm still going to talk about history, but I think it will be a great opportunity for the young kings and queens to actually see what Black history does and look like, what our Black America looks like, what we're creating and cultivating. And, look forward to a couple of dances with the kids. Again, we're just bringing families and generations back to the table again, back to having a conversation without these electronic things. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow us. I'll make sure I follow you. I'll definitely make sure I promote your platform. This is an excellent platform. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us. And I look forward to being back up here again.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, down the road, definitely want to bring you back up here again. And at this point, I want to give you your flowers for everything that you're doing. As far as like, even with the Elegance title, the Royal Elegance, is like, when I listen to your story, you definitely fit the description right there. So it's like what you're doing with the community, what you're doing with other women, even like you said, behind the scenes, like with the curvy, confident women, with the you doing life coaching. Giving advice, you helping people in this. You said it's not just model. It's not just that. in real life. So it's like you're out there actually active, helping people. You have a heart for people.
Yes.
And in the day and time that we live in now, it's very much needed. And it's
Exactly.
like, again, I know that God is going to keep blessing you. I know that he's going to keep enlarging your territory.
Amen.
With your health, I'm praying that everything will go on the up and up, that, you don't have no scares.
That's right.
That he'll bless you with the baby girl and all of that, because it's like when you do the right thing and you have a heart for doing right, God honors that. And it's like a lot of times people, they do it with their own motives and their own agendas. And I can tell you're authentic. You really have a heart and you're doing it from your heart. So I definitely appreciate what you're doing for our community. And I definitely want to spotlight you on being a Black woman of excellence.
Thank you.
So I thank you. Somebody's over there trying to call. But I definitely want to honor you for what you're doing. And I definitely appreciate you coming up here. And I definitely want to get the word out for what y'all have going on in the community as well. So I definitely will be blasting that on this side. And again, I thank you. And I know that the sky's the limit. And I'll definitely be in touch. And I look forward to us keep going on and networking and interchanging and helping each other, because that's how we grow. My anthem is, we rise by lifting one another up.
That's right.
So it's we all in this thing together. And again, it's like, God, thank you for sharing your story, and it's powerful. And I hope that somebody might watch this and be inspired and say, you know what, I want to do that, because we need more people on the front line. We don't have a lot of leaders like we used to. And you're a modern day leader. You're on the front line and you're making a difference.
Open book, willing to help. That's it.
And that's the thing. And I salute you and your king. Congratulations on the marriage and everything and all that y'all about to do. And I know that's exciting. I got the businesses, the marriages. So it's like, I know it's like you in a fairy tale right now.
Yeah.
And
I have to say, all right, slow down. Let's make sure we write it all down right.
And that's the thing. And like with every fairy tale, I pray for y'all to have the happily ever after.
Thank you.
And I salute you. And I thank you again. You got any shout outs you want to give before we close out?
Yes. I want to shout out to my husband, Leroy Lassenberg, all of my kings, Junior, Derek, Bruce, and Shannon. I also want to give a shout out to Spitz. He's a rapper in VA. Also, Spit Bars, JoJo's Closet, one of my designer brands that I work with in New York City, Thighs Unlimited, and then a host of my photographer, especially Lucas Vision and Derek Palmer. And then my shout out to one of my good friends that has Velvet Room, Mr. Hollywood, every Sunday at 7:00. Just everyday relationships, what we're talking about in the Black community on the news, sex facts, those good things. So thank you to all of my fans and family and friends that support me and continue to support me. And of course, my royal court with the Mrs. Regal Elegance of North Carolina. So I salute all of you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you again. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in, whether you watch the live or you watch the playback. We definitely appreciate it. Be sure to follow on Facebook. It's Shenna Jones, 2 N's.
That's right.
On Instagram, it's _SHEJ on Instagram. And be sure to tap in. And again, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put all the descriptions, and after it's over, I'll put it on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll tag Flyer. So we'll definitely have all that in there. Again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all be safe. Have a blessed week, and we love y'all. Thank you again.
Have a blessed week.
All right. All right.